Hello, everyone. I caught Doug right as he was writing something down. I'm sorry.
It was one of those things where I knew I was like, can I do it before I go light? No, I couldn't. Fuck. Okay. And I just
Listen,
knew I was gonna forget it later. So
exactly. If you got to write it down so you don't forget it, do it, Doug. Okay. Do
and
it.
the door's open. I'm gonna close that so I don't.
Oh wow, you're just a mess. No.
I am a fucking mess, man. Crazy. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Hi, Doug.
I love
Welcome
the
back.
polar opposite. Like I'm just like, wait. I tried to get the lighting right. It never quite looks right. But I'm always like just blown out in terms of lighting. You were just like perfectly lit.
Thank you. I tried really hard to get this balance. Thank you, Doug.
I gotta get it. Do you have like one of those round light things?
I have a key light in this corner, a ring light in this corner, and just a really nice camera.
Yeah,
or a nice webcam.
Before these two used to work, but now I feel like they're not. So I don't know. I might want to change it up. Anyway, we're really getting off topic, and that's my fault. I apologize.
Waveflow, that's exactly what it is. Doug's brain is fried from the drug known as Twilight. So that's 1,000% what it is. Yes, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask Doug some questions that have been on your mind. Thank you so much for this level 2 hype train that we're in. So we're going to go over the rules so that we can get to the questions here. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes we have time towards the end of stream for highlighted questions, but I would save your highlighting until the end of stream when we finish the bit messages, because if you highlight it now, I cannot scroll up and see it. Also, highlighting a message does not guarantee that we are going to read it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. That kind of applies to bits as well. We do have a list, but we do get behind, sometimes as much as an hour behind. Be patient. We have the list. We will get to it. It is very rare that the question is actually skipped. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest episode of The Last of Us or anything like that, okay? So don't be that person who spoils things.
You should, though, if you haven't.
You should.
Really
absolutely, you should.
Really good.
Really good. You might want to check to make sure that someone else has not already asked your question. I haven't really been doing a great job of keeping up. Normally, I'm looking at some of them so I can be like, people have already asked about this, this, and this. But, we just would feel bad if you're like the 5th person who asked us about the DC thing with James Gunn, and we have to be like, we've already talked about that. Sorry, moving on. Please watch the length of your questions. The shorter and to the point, the better. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it. And if I mess something up, too bad, so sad, I can't go back and look at it again. So just shorter and to the point is better for everybody. And I think that's it.
I think we got it. Yeah,
I think we got it. All right, cool, awesome. All right, that Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Doug Cullen and Heather Swan. How are you lovely folks doing?
Lovely, and both of us take that as an insult. Thank you.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. With Doom Patrol's unjust and unfair cancellation, do you think you'll do a video on it? If not an NC, then at least a vlog. Well, wait, has it been officially canceled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, so this is the last season.
Aw.
They're like, whatever, editing and putting it all together. I think they're aware, though, so, like, in terms of, I think they're going to write it in, they're going to finish it up. I think the same thing with Titans, too. They're aware and they're finishing it up, which I'm glad at least that, but it's like, yeah. And I can't be like, oh, damn it, none of people are watching, because they got rid of so much stuff.
Yeah.
That people were watching, so It's like, who the fuck knows?
Who knows? I still will never get over the fact that they just decided to take Westworld off of HBO Max.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's so much stuff that's just mind-boggling, so who knows?
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen The Menu? And if so, thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite films of last year. I can't say it's like one of my favorite movies, but it is about as perfectly told a movie you can get. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I just think back to the movie and, I even the stuff I like, I'll say, but this was an issue and that was a problem. That one, I'm like, no, I can't find anything wrong with it. It's just a perfect movie. So, yeah, I absolutely loved it.
I just read that, sorry. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you rooting for anyone in particular for Best Actor at the Oscars?
I mean, of course I'm going to root for Brendan Fraser. Frasier. Come on. I don't even remember who the hell else.
Renaissance.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen the movie. I just want him to win because he's, goddamn, is such a sweetheart. So yeah, and that's not at all saying he gave the best performance. I don't know. I haven't seen the film. I can't even remember who else is nominated and stuff like that. I just want him to win the same reason everybody wants him to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Grand Omega, thank you for the 100 bits. Are you happy? You finally reviewed the Twilight series. You should see Vampire Diaries, which almost felt similar, but better.
Oh, okay. I mean, is it that difficult to be better than Twilight? But still, maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, I don't know. I like doing this thing where I squish a whole movie series into like one video, like something that's legit like nostalgic now. Like, it is weird to think like 10 years ago the last Twilight movie came out. Like, it's really weird to think.
Right, it still feels like that was just yesterday, the Twilight craze.
Yeah, it's weird.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 Seinfeld episodes.
Oh man, The Contest, I love that one. The one where they're buying a car, that one's really great. Man, trying to think, what's another one where just everything worked? It's like, I know it's gonna be an obvious one. I can't think of it. No, I can't think. I'm just going back to those 2 episodes. Yeah. Oh, you know, I'll say the one where Jerry and Elaine, one's in first class and the other is in coach, and that one just cracked me up because anytime I'm on a plane, the few times I've flown first class, which I don't do often, it's only if there's an upgrade or someone pays for it or something like that, but I'm just like, I don't feel right paying that amount of money for it, but like, it is nice, and every time I pass by them to go sit in coach, I do always think of that Seinfeld episode.
Adam, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Marcel the Shell with shoes on yet? And if so, your thoughts? No,
actually, let me put that on the list because that's one of the many movies I said I should watch that and never did when I had my week off. So I will add that. A lot of people have said it's very, very good.
Rob and the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm asking all my questions today on behalf of my friend, The Real Official Cafe, one of 2. Would you ever look over Wacko's Wish, the Animaniacs movie?
Yeah, I was gonna do it like maybe this year, and then I pulled back. And there's a couple years I was gonna do it, and for whatever reason I keep pulling back, and I don't know why. Because my opinion kind of changed on it. At first I thought it was a little too corny and out of character, but then when you realize it's kind of the last thing they've done, it is kind of a nice swan song and them experimenting, trying something a little different. So I do want to watch it again. So yeah, I probably will.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Seinfeld character of the main 4?
It's a toss-up between... no, it's George. I was going to say George and Kramer, but I'm like, nah, it's George. He's just... I quote him the most. I feel like Rob and I, just whenever we have like a freak out or anything's going wrong, you know, we'll just say, it's supposed to be the summer of George. Like, just, he has that great yell. Yeah, that's it.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, all. Doug, there's heavy rumors today that Dev Patel may be playing Jesus Christ, Heather. Reed Richards in the MCU. Thoughts?
Let me double check who that is.
Slumdog Millionaire, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Why do I feel like I saw him in something outside of Slumdog Millionaire where I was like, he was great in that, and now I can't think of what it is. I'm sure. And what is he playing? I'm sorry.
Reed Richards, perhaps. It's still rumored, but heavily rumored.
From what? I'm sorry.
The MCU, Fantastic Four, Reed Richards.
Oh, okay. I don't know a ton about Fantastic Four. If you say Mr. Fantastic, I'll know that. I thought fucking from The Office. I thought.
Well, that was just for a cameo for.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're not they can't do that to us. They can't do that to
They
us.
absolutely are doing that to you, Doug.
That is not fair. That is not
Krasinski,
fair.
I don't think they're going to keep Krasinski on.
That's a shame. I mean, I like the dude fine. He's a good actor. You know, and again, I don't know too much about Fantastic Four. They're not casting him. What the hell? So yeah, what hypocrite I am. I mean, I'll see. He's a good actor. He can pull off great stuff. But I do know the history behind like Chris. How you say his last name? Krasinski, like wanting to do that role and stuff like that. So it is like, hearing that, but I'm really blurry.
Yeah, you got really blurry. I was going to tell you once you were done.
Sorry. But no, he's a good actor. If he is the part, I'm sure he'll do fine, but it is just like, I want to see Johnny in there.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of the Bond movies is your favorite? For me, it's The Spy Who Loved Me.
It's funny. I like James Bond. I don't love him. Like a lot of people really love the movies, but I enjoy them. And I saw for the first time in their entirety the Timothy Dalton movies, and I really liked them.
Okay.
Much more than I thought I would. And the one where he wants revenge on a guy, was that License to Kill, or was it a different one? I can't remember. But
I'm not sure.
I dug him. I thought that was a little bit more of like the angry Bond I want from Daniel Craig at the beginning, and then he shaped out pretty good. And even that I have to see again. The
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, yeah, I gotta see that again.
I love Casino Royale.
I feel like I might have just been in a too close-minded. No, it's not my Bond, and I'm like, I should give it another chance because I really did like the way those Bond movies turned out. But yeah, I actually do really like the Timothy Dalton ones, surprisingly. Outside of that, I mean, like, the ones you like, Dr. No, I do like GoldenEye a good deal. So, yeah.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Since you referenced Titanic in the Twilight review, will you see it in the theater to celebrate its 25th anniversary? I know I will because I was only a year old when it came out, and seeing it on the big screen has to be an experience.
God, 25 years, that's crazy. I did see it a lot on the big screen, enough where I'm like, I'm good. I saw it enough. It's such a long movie, and my memories of seeing it on the big screen are just so ingrained in there that it's like, I feel like I don't need to see it again. Where something like, but I didn't see enough where I have like every line down. You know what I mean? Like Jurassic Park, I have like all the lines in that movie memorized. But when that's re-released, or same thing with Lion King, when that's re-released, I'm like, oh, I have to, because I just love watching that movie in general, and seeing it on the big screen is even better. I do recommend you see it on the big screen. It is like, honestly, I'm discovering now like 80% of Cameron's movies, like it's only kind of good on the big screen. But that's not true. I like the movie, but yeah, it's very, very good on the big
WWE,
screen.
thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear M. Night will be hosting a block tonight? Oh, maybe a block tonight on Cartoon Network Adult Swim.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I gotta check that out. Okay, I will try to check that out. The twist is he really isn't.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Jeff Goldblum role?
I want to go with one of the funny ones, but I'm thinking like, okay, but what's like a legit good performance he gave? And I actually really do like him in The Fly. I thought he was kind of playing the typical Goldblum archetype, but he was also like really fascinating, and seeing him transition was both like a little funny but legit like creepy too. He was weirdly the perfect choice for that role.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which TV shows are you most excited for with the new DCU slate?
All right, well,
Lanterns, man. I'm so excited for Lanterns.
I think that's gonna probably be it for me.
Lanterns has a lot of potential.
The one that I was just talking to Heather a little bit. It's not jumping out at me now, but it could be cool. The Waller show, I think, would be cool if they did like an Andor thing where you're not focusing as much on like the fights and the violence and the superpowers. It's more the behind the scenes strategies going on, and the discussions and manipulating. Like that could be pretty interesting, because she could pull that off great. And I think some good writing could really pull that off. If it's just another superhero show, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that, but unless she gets superpowers at some point, I don't know. But if we're going by what's more likely gonna be the better show, I agree with Heather. I'd probably say Lanterns.
Is Booster Gold gonna be a show? Someone said Booster Gold, baby, because I'm very excited for Booster Gold. Thank God Booster Gold getting some kind of recognition. If that's a series, then yes, Booster Gold.
one on the thing. Oh, okay. I kind of recognize this guy. I don't know anything about him, but okay.
All right. Then, okay, it is a series. Then Booster Golds, then Lanterns. I don't know. They're both... I'm both excited for both. We'll see.
Yeah.
Rob and the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Second question from the Real Official Cafe. Did you know that Disney made a movie called Geppetto in 2001 with Drew Carey and Julia Louis-Dreyfus? I thought that might interest you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's always one of those where it's like on the list to review just for fun. I know nobody's going to watch me review that, but it's like, there's a part of me, it's like, oh, I am curious what kind of a train wreck that is. I remember they were advertising it a lot when it came out and everything, so I might check it out at some point, like, just kind of for me.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. Have either of you seen the movie Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit? I couldn't understand the economic jargon, but it seems someone wanted to cause a second Great Depression all because of a pipeline that would have rendered oil too cheap for the Russians to sell. What do you two think?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
seen
either.
Much of the Jack Ryan stuff. I've seen more too. I've seen Hunt for Red. I love that. And was it Some of Our Fears and stuff. So I've seen a couple, but yeah, maybe like 4 or 5, something like that.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who do you feel was wasted in the Ant Bully? Bruce Campbell or Nick Cage?
Wasted like potential, or wasted like, oh, okay, I'm an ant.
It just says, who do you feel was wasted in the Ant Bully? So I don't know if more wasted, or I'm assuming more wasted is what I would assume.
I don't know. It's weird. They both did with them what you would expect they would do with that. You know, they make Bruce Campbell like the goofy guy who acts all tough, but he's kind of a coward, and then Nicolas Cage kind of the weird guy who's a little out there and stuff, but something just didn't click. They didn't write anything that interesting for him. So I don't know. They brought the most they could. There's just no character there, not an interesting character there for either of them.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 100 bits. Which actor would be the worst possible choice to play Batman?
Kristen Stewart. I don't know. Let's
Tom
just go
Cruise?
the opposite.
No.
Batman.
Right.
Yeah, that would be. There's worse, but
Chris Pratt. Oh God. Yes, chat. You're right, Chris Pratt.
Chris Tucker. A Batman. A Batman.
Gigabuster, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you heard of a movie known as Vanishing Point? It's from 1971, and there was a remake in 1996 with the guy who played Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
Man, that sounds familiar. Wasn't it like a big, like, controversial movie or something? Or was it? Maybe it wasn't. Oh, maybe I haven't seen this. Oh, okay. I've actually never seen this movie. I think I was confusing it for another film. All right. I will try to check this out. Yeah, because I have never seen it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you say you'll miss the most about Doom Patrol when it leaves TV for good?
Just the camaraderie of them all. I think they made a really good team. I loved hearing all the different reactions to everything. And on top of that, it's weird in a lot of superhero shows. I like the scenes where they fight and the big conflicts and stuff. And this one, I like when they just sit around and talk because they're all just so interesting. And I think whenever they're gathered in a circle, I'm going to miss that.
Commander Hammerhead, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, since King 2005 was originally supposed to come out in 1998 and the script was made in 1996, that could be a good fanscription idea. Or you could go over, it's quite a different film than the 2005 version. I'm rather disappointed we never got to see it on screen.
Do they mean Kong?
They might have meant King Kong 2005.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. The original's just so good. It's not that you can't tamper with it. I mean, people have, and made some okay movies and not okay movies. But, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I could do with it. I feel like the original's already so great, and I would just be able to make it more like the original. Change a few things, but nothing too crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. I like King Kong. I don't think I'm talented enough to give a unique spin on it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Evening, y'all. Doug and Heather, are you familiar with Junji Ito? If not, you should check out his horror anthology anime that just came out on Netflix, Japanese Tales of the Macabre.
I just started watching it.
Oh, did
today. You? Yeah. It's odd. It's out there. But I only saw. Yeah, but I mean, so the art style and the weird art, that's all great. I love that, obviously. But the first episode I saw, I mean, it was interesting. It's keeping my interest. I'm just like, I got to the end. I'm like, oh, is that it? Okay, I guess. Because I've read a little bit of his stuff, and I do like. I just thought there'd be a little bit more of a punch to it, but it's literally just one episode I've seen so far. I want to watch through all of them. Of course, the artwork's fantastic and stuff, and like I said, it kept my attention.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 150 bits. I wonder if Doug knows that Everything Everywhere All at Once includes a cameo for his old nemesis, Randy Newman.
Oh, is he in there somewhere?
I don't know. Is he?
Now I'm really, really curious. Everything Everywhere, and I'll just put Randy Newman.
Randy Newman. He is. Dragon's Toy says he is.
Good old Randy. I'm not there. Was he the raccoon on top of the guy's head? Was that it?
Raccoony?
I guess I'm not seeing the actual clip, but I will try to look that. Oh,
he is. That's what there's. Adam Gunther and DCL Coda say he's Raccoony.
What? I was just kidding. Was he like the voice or something?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's the only thing I can. Okay, that's why no picture is popping up either. Okay, all right. It's pretty funny.
He's the voice. All right.
Funny.
Thanks for letting us know, chat. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. If I directed the West Side Story remake, Lieutenant Schrank would have specified Puerto Rico to be a U.S. territory, so attacking the Sharks would be as bad as attacking someone from New Jersey or Maine. He would then ask the Jets if they wanted to hurt someone from Maine. Would you have made a joke about the Stephen King monsters living in Maine?
Wow, that's a lot of dots to connect there. Sure, if I was doing this very hypothetical review of Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, yes, I would have made that joke on top of this other fictional scenario.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Spider-Man movie villain is your overall favorite? Green Goblin, Doc Ock, or Vulture?
It's gotta be Vulture, because that was the only one I legit got a little, like, creeped out around. That scene in the car. I was just like, oh my god, I'm like really uncomfortable. What the hell is he gonna do?
I just love Green Goblin. It's classic.
I get it, yeah.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So I rewatched Troy twice last week. I just can't get enough of it. Sure, it has a lot of problems, but I just don't care. We got Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Brendan Gleeson, Brian Cox, and Peter O'Toole acting their asses off.
I do remember all my friends after seeing that movie. It was kind of a big hit movie. Like it has a hold on some people. I'm not sure what it is. But I do remember some of my friends saying like, "Yeah, it's really good. I really should go to the gym after seeing that movie." You know? I think 300 was that for me. After I saw 300, I'm like, maybe I should put down that cheeseburger and I don't know, do some weights or something.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. This is for both Doug and Heather. I want to know your sitcom celebrity crushes. I mean, when I was middle school, there was no one hotter than Sean from Boy Meets World.
Man, I'm trying to think. Sitcoms? I'm like trying to go through all like the sitcoms I like in my head and stuff like that. There's gotta be somebody. At first I was almost thinking like same thing when I was younger, maybe Darlene from Roseanne, but then I was kind of like, no, I think I just kind of was Darlene sometimes because I would do like the drawings and wear like the flannel shirts. I don't know. I'd have to like look at a list of like sitcom. I don't know why, just suddenly like my mind's going blank. So yeah, maybe or maybe I should do like 90s sitcoms or something like that. I will look through a list of some and be like, oh no, I fucking know. Daphne from Frasier. I love her accent and everything. Just how nice she was. Yeah, that's the one.
There you go. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you previously joked about conspiracies placing chips in our brains, as you described, but there's good news. The Mythbusters have scientifically proven such chips aren't inserted into the human body, at least under the guise of blood donations.
Well, thank God they exist for that, because, I was really believing it for a while, but, they proved it wrong. Now, I mean, if it's on Mythbusters, it's back, So thank God.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. With how he was made the main villain in the Batman and Robin fanscription, what are your thoughts on the villain Blight in Batman Beyond?
Because this is how clear I don't have anything to do with that fanscription. I don't know much about Blight. I know the one line about, you killed my father. He's like, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? I thought that was very funny, but I don't know anything else about the villain. So yeah, sadly, I don't have much of an opinion.
It's been so long since I've seen Batman Beyond. I cannot speak too much on it. I'm sorry.
I should watch the whole show.
It's
that's
good.
Another one. Yeah, everyone says it's really good. That's another, like, he's a bat boy and I don't like that. He should be a Batman. Yeah, what's in the future? Stupid man. And everyone says, no, look, it's really pretty fucking good. Like I said, that Return of the Joker was really good. I'm just like, oh, damn it. Do I have to actually treat this seriously? And it's like, yeah, I should, because I hear it's pretty solid.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Which is a more impressive makeup job? Christian Bale in Vice or Brendan Fraser in The Whale? So you're basically asking which fat suit was better.
Didn't Bale actually put on a lot of that
Bale
weight?
Did actually. Bale did.
But I haven't seen either. But I've seen
really?
Clips and trailers and stuff. Yeah.
I saw Vice because I love Christian Bale.
Maybe Christian Bale, because if you showed me him in the movie, I don't know if I would have recognized it was him.
Yeah.
And I would just thought they got an actor that kind of looked like the guy and everything. So where Brendan Fraser is clearly Brendan Fraser, you can tell. But they're both good.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. I was in high school when Twilight was big, and while I was kind of a pretentious, artsy kid who shat on a lot of popular things that were harmless in hindsight, I was 100% right about Twilight.
It's nice when you look back and it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't just full of shit. That was legitimately terrible. Okay. I mean, I feel good. But then it sucks when you go back on something, like I said, we've discussed a few times here, where it's like, no, I don't like that. And then you look back, it's like, oh, shit, this is good. Fuck. It was me. I was the problem.
I had mixed feelings about Twilight because it was not a well-written book series at all, but it got some of my kids who would never pick up a book to pick up a book. So it's like, fine. If that's what you have to read, I guess read it. But if you like this, let me tell you about some other things you might like.
But I feel like, it may be just different times, but Harry Potter, that was like the big thing that like suddenly got kids into reading. Like kids just did not read when I was growing up. So I feel like, so was that kind of happening too when you were a teacher? Like kids were starting to get out of it, and then that kind of, or like some sort of new book series like brought them back, and that was like the one that brought them back?
Yeah, Twilight got some kids to pick up books who normally wouldn't.
Okay, all right.
Same with the Percy Jackson series, though, but I actually really liked Percy Jackson. So I'd be like, well, maybe just try Percy Jackson instead of Twilight. Maybe try that. CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, you've done the Twilight movies. Will you review the most infamous fan fiction next?
Oh, the 50 Shades?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to actually watch. I saw the first one, and it was so boring. It wasn't even like, it was bad, but it wasn't like a fun bad. And I hear the other movies are kind of the same. Like, there's one or two things that are just crazy terrible, but they're mostly just dull. But like, I probably should. I should sit through and watch. Because what, are there 3 of them? Or are there 4?
The 50 Shades books? I have no idea.
Or movies,
I have no idea.
I'll try at some point. I'm not looking forward to it. If they were so bad they're good, I would just hop right on it. But yeah, I just remember the first one being really dull, and everyone's like, yeah, the other films are pretty much the same.
Power Gamer says there's 3. So,
okay.
There you go. That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. This made me chuckle. Doug, I know what your new Bat credit card is. Are you ready? Bates Motel.
Just roll over. Oh man!
You were
For those
so
that don't
mad.
know, look up our
stream from yesterday, which is in the VODs.
Yeah, our movie quote quiz that we did or game, whatever. And yeah, both Rob and I mean, because like as soon as we clicked it, we knew, and I was like, no, because that was the first major loss I think I got. I think I had like the Dirty Harry one, which legit surprised me, but that was the other major one that I was like, oh, easy, like pedestrian, and then when I clicked it, I was like, oh, no. Oh man, I fell out of my chair. I was eating the chair. Oh, I was so angry.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever tried any of these drinks? Res water, lemon perfect water, hint water, or Bai water? I've had Bai before. BAI?
Yeah, no, I've never had any of them. I guess I'll try them. Are they good? It was Bai's
all right. I prefer sparkling water, but you know, I'm also a LaCroix basic bitch, so.
I will try them.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 500 bits. Really appreciate that. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't speak for a second there. You think Twilight's bad? I saw a Rarez video about a bad vampire video game called Dark, who tried to recall the origins of vampires and get away from metrosexual vampires, but the game has leather jackets, has more belts than Final Fantasy, and the hero gets killed by bullets not made by wooden stakes.
Well, but they were silver bullets, so that means even less. Yeah, sounds stupid.
There's been a lot of bad vampire media, so.
Yes.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who was your favorite one-off villain in Gravity Falls? For me, it's the golf ball people. # remember Big Henry.
Yeah, the gnomes were a little funny too. I'd have to go through like all the episodes again. I'll say the gnomes just because I remember them, so that's something.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailer for the new Stephen King Boogeyman movie?
Looks like another Stephen King movie. I don't know. It didn't look bad. It didn't look good. It's like if he didn't have Stephen King's name on there, I don't think it would even register. I almost forgot about it until you brought it up. So we'll see. But I hope it's good. You know, I always hope any movie's good.
Brand Omega, thank you for the 100 bits. I hate to ask this. Do you really hate the line "as you know," or are you trying to be funny with your crazy reactions?
I mean, the over-the-top screaming and stuff, you know, is I'm playing up for laughs. And no, it is not a line that if it's in a film, it automatically makes it bad or it makes the line bad. There's a couple times where it can work in the Banana Splits movie. What a weird movie to reference, but you know, he's talking to the machines, he's in control, and the machines have to do what he says, and he says something along the lines of, as you know, if I push this button, you all explode, and you have to do what I say. He's saying that to mock them. So there is a way to use that line in a way that does make sense, you know, to the characters. But in terms of exposition, it's just kind of a famous bad line. Because, like I say, if you already know why you're saying it, and it's just such a very clear way of trying to let the audience know what's going on. So it doesn't always mean the movie's going to be bad or the line's used terribly. It's a funny little stamp of bad that's usually not in very good movies.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I know you suggested watching Inside Job, but I find it to be too comical for my taste, though it does seem to have a measure of character development. Would you concur?
I mean, it's a comedy, so I would think one would hope it would be comical, but yeah, the one issue I have with this show, because I am pissed they're not doing more of them, because I thought that was good enough to keep going, is that whenever something would happen, the only character whose reaction I wanted to see was the main character. I didn't care how everybody else reacted to it. You know, they weren't bad, they just weren't interesting. Except for Brett got interesting, I think, in season 2. He got fun. But yeah, there was enough of a continuing story, and I liked the conspiracies and how they all tied in. And I love, even in a world where all the conspiracies are real, flat earthers were still wrong. That is so funny. So yeah, I liked it. I am very sad they're not doing more of them.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Full disclosure, I took my first girlfriend to the first Twilight movie as our first date. She was looking forward to it, but I couldn't wait for it to end. When the sequel came out, she asked would I want to see it. I told her, I already got you, so no.
You could go on your own. Now, did she want to see it? Maybe she was like, well, he seems to like it. He wanted to see the first one. That'd be funny if she had no. That'd be funny if you both went to see it thinking you were doing the other a favor.
Right. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you please bring back first viewing? Some of us enjoy it when you and your brother riff movies.
You know, for a while, we didn't do them because Rob was doing the fanscription. So, I mean, those really did take over a lot of his time because he did almost all of the images and, wrote it and stuff like that. And you see how long they are. So, but yeah, it's been a while since we've even sat down and watched an NC together. A lot of the past few ones I've just done on my own. But we're going to start maybe doing them again when we do our theme month, because I feel like it might be fun to film our reaction to them, because we're doing the Pirates movies and we haven't seen them in a while, so that might be interesting to see them again after so long.
Kerbo the Great, thank you for the 100 bits, and they said, hello, I have 4 questions, so we're gonna have to rapid fire.
Okay.
1, will there ever be a Lego movie month?
No.
2, what is the next fanscription idea you're making? That is a question for Walter and Rob, not for Doug. He does not have an answer for that.
Well, actually, I might, because I think I'm writing it.
Oh, are you? Okay, never mind.
Wait. No, I'm writing the one after, so I don't know.
3, will you make more editorials since they're the videos that even the people who don't like your reviews think they're cool?
Not in the NC, but we're playing around with the idea of maybe doing something like the Velma video, where it's I'll sort of talk about something in media that I just want to talk about. It's kind of half written, half just talking off top of my head. So we'll play around with that.
And 4, have you heard about, I'm gonna mess this up, Shafrula's Productions Tragedy?
It's funny. I actually saw it in the chat here before it started, and I saw that name. I'm like, I know that's a YouTuber, right? And I didn't know, so I just looked it up. And last I heard, he's still in critical condition, and it's just I hope he pulls through and everything. I've seen a little bit of his videos, and I liked them and stuff. But I mean, even if I didn't, you don't want that to happen to anyone,
No, Yeah.
And I know, was it his brother?
His brother and his friend.
Was in there too, and his friend. Oh man. Heart to everyone involved, friends, family, everybody, fans, all of that. A heart goes out, man. I can't imagine going through that. So yeah, I'm hoping he pulls through.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of these stop motion animated films, in your opinion, is the best? Nightmare Before Christmas, Paranorman, Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, or Del Toro's Pinocchio?
Shit. So even though it's the most popular, not Nightmare Before Christmas, even though I really like it, but just what's the best movie? Shit. In terms of the best made and what it's trying to do and get across and everything, I mean, oh man, I don't know. They're all so different. Every time I thought I had an answer, it would switch. I mean, I guess I can say my personal favorite's probably Paranorman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all have such unique strengths, and they have stuff that's in common, but I mean a lot more differences in my opinion. I don't think I could choose.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi Doug and Heather, hope all is well. So since they revealed the cat suit from Super Mario 3D World for the new movie, it kind of made me wonder something. Will the movie only be popular because of the fan service it delivers and the plot will be just okay? I'm still hyped for it, but I think they might be overdoing it with the fan service a bit in the trailers. What do you both think? Sorry.
That's a concern of mine too. It's fortunate that it is a franchise where even if that was the case and they did it okay, I'd be satisfied. I think a lot of people would be satisfied. I think we do want to just see Mario on the big screen and throw some fan service our way and just, oh, look how colorful it is. Look, they're, doing all the stuff we love to see them do. But yes, wouldn't it be awesome if we got I don't know, a Puss in Boots 2 or something like that.
An actual good story?
Yeah. I mean, and it helps that we have one of the most famous bad movies ever to compare it to, obviously. So yeah, I have that concern too, but it's not a major concern because if it's done okay, I would still enjoy it.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I recommend you watch Courage in the Big Stinkin' City for your next episode of Dark Toons. It involves one particular image that would make a good addition, to your wall.
Okay, in the Big Stinkin'
City. Courage.
Okay.
Yep, Courage in the Big Stinkin' City.
I will try to check that out. Thank you.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I just want to say that I think the love triangle trope can work if done right. I'd like it if the girl doesn't end up with the love interest from the beginning of a series or movie and ends up with another guy who has better chemistry than the previous guy. If you want to see a love triangle done right, I recommend Beastars, the anime on Netflix.
Okay, there's a couple, I'm blanking on them, but I feel like I've seen that where we see this couple together and you say, man, these two aren't right for each other. And it turns out they're not. And it's actually about them finding the real people that's right for them. That's one of the things I liked doing with when I did the stuff with Nostalgia Critic and Hyper Fangirl. I like that they don't get together. I like they're really not right for each other. It's more about, making mistakes and then she eventually finds someone that's right for her. I like that a little bit more, and I don't want to see more realistic because it's a fucking review show with like side sketches and stuff. But I usually do like romances where that's a little bit more. That's at the very least a factor, like that can happen. If people just meet and they fall in love, that's great too. But it's like, love's interesting and complex and relationships and everything. That's why just a lot of the. Unless it's like a Christmas rom-com where they're just having fun with it, I'd love to see a real romance that really dives into, the different layers that goes into it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Guess what, Doug? Only 4 weeks till Pirates Month. I'm so excited! Drink up, me hearties, yo-ho!
Who's doing that? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. We actually... I moved around the schedule a little bit because you're going to see a couple editorial reviews in a row, non-cast reviews, I should say. Because if we didn't, I'd have the cast for, I think, like the second film and then the fourth film, like the movies nobody talks about.
Right.
Like, no, I want it for the first one and the third one and the last one. Like, that's the one I want the cast for. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have them all on board with that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Idea for the new Twitch quiz. You are given a Seinfeld quote and have to identify what episode it's from and who said it. Let me start you off. I'm a United States postal worker and my mail truck was just ambushed by a band of backwoods mail-hating survivalists.
See, I would not do well on that. I don't even remember that one. I know like maybe 10 Seinfeld lines, and I don't even know if I could connect to which episode they're from. I love Seinfeld. I'm not that read up on it, if you will.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. It's theorized that the reason why Dr. Octavius turned good in Spider-Man 2 was because he had only recently returned from his time in No Way Home. But what do you two think?
I mean, it's a fun fan theory, but I don't think they knew that going in. Very
Probably
clearly,
not. No, for sure not.
It's a fun theory. It's interesting.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. You guys wouldn't believe this new dating show TLC has announced. It's called MILF Manor, where women in their 40s try to find love, but the male contestants are each of the other women's sons. It's all kinds of ew.
What?
Yeah, I've seen the not stinger, but what do you call it? Teaser, that's what it is. Teaser for it. It sounds weird, very weird. We're entering another Rock of Love age of a reality TV series.
The Learning Channel is running that.
Mm-hmm.
The Learning Channel hasn't really been the Learning Channel for a while, has it? I guess we're learning what not to do.
Or what not to wear.
Yes.
TLC throwback. Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't know if you have any more plans for future Top 11 videos, but I think some fun ideas might be Top 11 Tom and Jerry shorts, Top 11 Looney Tunes cartoons, since both of those franchises are big influences for you.
Yeah, I wrote down a list of top 11s I wouldn't mind doing. I just haven't been in the mood to do any. I think lists are kind of like, I mean, like, I don't want to say they're passe. I mean, because I'm still like, yeah, I might still do one, but Yeah, I don't know. Like the steam, I feel like has kind of run out of it. I want to wait till like maybe I get nostalgic for lists again. I'll be like, yeah, I really want to do another one. So yeah, I'll wait for that.
Murphy, thank you for the 300 bits. I have a bad case of the hiccups. Send help.
Just try. What do they do? Hold your breath. Drink
Doug,
water.
One of the things you can do is scare someone from the hiccups. Scare Murphy.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You don't have the hiccups anymore.
Great. Fantastic.
I always, that's what I do for my wife. When she gets the hiccups, I would scare her. I do like a big, or something like that. And she get a startle out of it and they'd be gone. But then just the anticipation of it, like, causes her to get rid of the hiccups. Actually, my mom taught me one other trick. You need someone else there. You have to actually say, okay, let me hear the hiccup. They'll hiccup. Okay, let me hear it again. They'll usually hiccup. Okay, let me hear it again. Come on. Usually by the third time, they can't do it. It's weird.
That's weird. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Seinfeld would you rather spend 24 hours locked in a room with? Jay Peterman, the Soup Nazi, or Newman? So which character?
Yeah, probably Jay Peterson, because he'd have some interesting stories.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 100 bits. You should review Penguins of Madagascar. That movie is so funny and has some jokes with the henchmen names. Nicholas Cage them, Kevin Bacon, and Elijah Wood.
Okay. I started it years ago, and it wasn't grabbing me, so I turned it off. But I should get a chance. I do like the other Madagascar movies. So, yeah, I should sit down and watch the whole thing.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite joke from Hot Fuzz? Mine is the fascist/hag joke.
It's pretty good. Man, I'm trying to think what one just got me, like, howling. They're all so good. I think just anytime, it's a real Timothy Dalton night, the more I think about it. Anytime Timothy Dalton would make, like, a threat that was disguised as a compliment. I think when he's talking to the actress particularly, and the music just amps up as he just gets closer, because he's just giving a totally genuine smile, but he's just such a, he looks like a James Bond villain and not James Bond in many respects, that it's just both so creepy, but that's just how he naturally looks and talks, and I love it. Oh my God, he's so good in that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I thought Gunn wanted a clean slate. Viola Davis and John Cena shouldn't be a part of the new direction if he's rebooting everything.
I don't think he's rebooting everything.
It's really unclear about who's coming back and who's not, except for Viola Davis, because he was very clear that's who's starring in the Waller series. So I don't know. I think it would be, honestly, I'm not an Ezra Miller hater, but I think it would be a big mistake if they kept Ezra Miller on. Like, they did get some rehab, but they also did some crimes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't follow it closely enough, but it does. I want to see this Flash movie. I want to see it. I want to see it untouched. I want to see it all that.
Right.
But how it is one of those where it's like, yeah, it would be tricky to separate the person from that, because he just kept doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But maybe time away. But you're right.
I don't know. And it's going to feel weird if, like, Henry Cavill's not back, but Gal Gadot is, and Jason Momoa is.
It's weird. It is weird that they didn't keep them all in there, and then they didn't just do whatever. Another Aquaman, another Superman, while still holding on to the DCEU cast. Like, that's a little weird, because they're holding on to some, but not all of them. Like, that is odd.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of those actors, so
right.
I don't mind holding on to some of them. But I semi agree. If you're gonna do one, do it all the way. But then I still want the Batman, and I want
you'll still get that. Those are DC Elseworlds. You'll get those.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I still want them to hold on to stuff that they started as well. So I don't know. I guess I don't envy him taking on this mess the more I think about it.
Especially when you already have, like, Aquaman 2 coming out, and you already have Shazam 2, and you already have The Flash to work with. Like, it's not, you don't have a completely blank slate. I mean, I guess you could after Flashpoint, but Aquaman 2 is coming out after Flashpoint. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite Robert Davi character from a classic 80s movie? Jake Fratelli in Goonies, Special Agent Johnson in Die Hard, or Sanchez in License to Kill?
Probably Sanchez. Again, I'm just on a Timothy Dalton love streak for some reason in this stream. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you really hate Temple of Doom or did you enjoy it? I liked it. I think you should redo your review. Just a thought.
I've thought about maybe doing it again. The one thing I do appreciate a little bit about it is how bizarre it is. And when it wants to go mean and dark, it goes mean and dark. Where something like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is just playing it so safe and so light, that like it's just all goofy. At least Temple of Doom, you can kind of say, yeah, it's stupid and goofy and very annoying in my opinion. But man, when it wants to go mean, it goes fucking mean, which I kind of got to tip my hat a little bit to. It doesn't match the tones at all, but if the whole movie was goofy and silly, you'd have something like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I still really don't like it, but I do give it a little bit of credit for that.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't expect a review of this. I'm mainly just curious. But have you watched the Weird Al Show? It's a pretty fun series in my opinion, and the commentary in the DVD is pretty interesting too. My favorite commentary track is when they talk over the episode where Al takes a vacation and leaves his cousin in charge, and they literally do the exact same thing in the commentary. Al leaves for the whole track while the other actor talks over the episode.
That's pretty funny. Aside from the intro, which I love the different animation that they use and stuff. The show, okay, I don't want to say it didn't grab me because it's meant for kids. It's clearly meant for kids, kind of thing. But I don't know. There's something where like Pee-wee could be for kids, but it kind of brought in adults as well. Yes. And something about that show, weirdly, it needed to go like one step further, like one step crazier, one step weirder in a strange way. Because I thought it was gonna, because I like UHF. It needed that same energy from UHF. It needed some of those shows, I think, on there and some of that energy. But I don't remember being terrible or really bad or anything. But yeah, it's like there's a missing ingredient. I think it just held back just a hint, and it should have really pushed it. It should have really gone all the way.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Random thought of the day. It must really suck to live near a time zone border. Imagine having to keep track of all the different hours, dentist appointments, and movie start times.
Yeah, if like if you're like in the middle of like different states and there's a border and they're like all the theaters and stuff are in different towns. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Sailor Aaron, thank you so much for that 24-month subscription. Welcome back. 2 heckin' years. Woohoo! 24 months with such awesome people like yourselves. So very happy. Hope you guys are doing wonderfully tonight.
Back at you, man. Thank you so much.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I don't know if you knew this, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been delayed from March 17th to April 28th. Just thought you should know.
Yeah, now we're like, fuck are we gonna do with our games now?
We'll figure it out.
We got Miles Morales. We might already be like halfway through Miles Morales after like what, a stream?
You got a chunk of the story missions done.
Yeah, like it might just do some side missions or something. Yeah, we gotta look into that about what game we want to do, if we want to do a game in between or whatever. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we please get a clue to next week's NC review?
It is a Sandler movie. There you go.
There you go.
Wait. Yes, that is the one. Sorry.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Besides the Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty films, what MCU movies, Kang, I think they mean, what MCU movies are you looking forward to most? I'm really looking forward to the Thunderbolts. I read that Yelena and her parents will be in it, and I just love their family dynamic in Black Widow.
I'm curious to see what they do with Blade, because the original movie, and the first two, honestly, were pretty damn good, and I still really associate Snipes with that character and that style and everything, so I'm curious to see what they do with that. Whenever they get it going, it's all X-Men for me. I want to see how they do X-Men. I guess on that note, too, I'm curious what they do in Deadpool 3 with Hugh Jackman coming back. That has to be funny. I mean, that has to be funny.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about that.
Murphy, thank you for the 100 bits. Seen any of HBO's Last of Us? So far, so good for me. 100% down. Absolutely.
Me too. And I was a doubter. I didn't think like, oh, there's no way it can be good. But I really thought if they weren't going to change up enough, it was just going to be too much like every other zombie show. But they are changing a lot to a point where it's legit surprising. It's legit emotional. It legit keeps me on the edge of my seat. But I love when they go into a place. Oh, I recognize that place. Oh, I bet that's around the corner. And I think Rob was just saying this the other night on one of the behind the scenes thing. They were saying that if they come up with something that's better than the game, do it. If it's not better than the game, they leave it as is. And I think that's the right thing to do. I think that's the right way to go about it.
Right. It's an adaptation. Otherwise, I would just play the game.
Yeah. And yeah, the different directions they do and the different add-ons and stuff. It's just, it's all interesting. It's all engaging. And yeah, I'm really digging it. I love it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you started Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go yet? And if so, what do you think so far?
Yeah, it ain't grabbing me, man. I tried, I think 5 or 6 episodes, and just was not grabbing me at all. I said, okay, maybe the next one will be better. Maybe the next one will be better. It's not a bad show. I can't say it's bad. It's a perfect send up to those early 90s giant mecha fight monster shows, like Power Rangers, or a lot of like old mecha animes from like the late 80s and stuff like that. But I don't get into that style to begin with, and I just didn't get that much into like, I didn't see much character in there or anything that new or super imaginative. So I'm just gonna stop. I'm sorry. I tried to give it 5 or 6 episodes, but I'm like, dude, there's something like 40 or 50 of these. If it's just a movie, I get through it, but it's like 40 or 50 of these, and it's just not winning me over. I gotta watch something else. I'm sorry. Thank you for the recommendation. I gave it a shot. It just ain't grabbing me.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. You should bring back Was That Real for Cousin Skeeter and the Happy Days and Gilligan's Island cartoons.
Yeah, that'll get a lot of hits. Probably not. That was a fun little experiment. I liked doing that. But I don't know if I have the energy for it anymore, because I really have to go and look over all these shows and clips and stuff like that. And B, I think when people want to see me review something now, they want like a movie or a collection of movies and stuff like that. So and that's what I'm having fun doing right now. So I'll keep doing that. But thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Why watch Twilight? Just watch porn.
I think I actually recommend a porn in the review today. So yeah, I guess watch that one.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Chris Pratt as Batman. Man, I spent hours of my life punching the Joker.
Punching Jokers. Gotham City, here we come.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, just wanted to check in. Awesome review of the Twilight Saga. Doug, yeah, my older sister was into the books. I didn't really get into Twilight. I would have been that girl who said I was Team Edward Elric with my group of friends. Some got it while others didn't. Lol. That sounds like me too, Sailor Aaron.
There you go, man.
I love that. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Most people don't care for the Arkham Knight game, but I thought it was impressive. I think the premise could have been used for Nolan's third Batman movie and have Scarecrow be the main villain. How cool would that have been to have a supporting villain rise up to become the biggest villain in the trilogy?
I would have. So there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I want more done with that villain, but they're already so clunky anyway. I think after Dark Knight, you should have just done different villains and kind of, they didn't always have to tie into like 2 movies before, you know what I mean? No, let's bring the League of Shadows back. I think they should have just had like different villains throughout them and maybe do like a couple more films. I appreciate him trying to end it and just have it be a trilogy, but it doesn't make sense as a trilogy. So that's my hot take. But yeah, I love the Scarecrow. I guess they're doing a Batman Brave and the Bold movie. Let's get Scarecrow finally as like a main villain, man. Let's really give him, the respect he deserves.
Mumra, thank you for the 100 bits. One thing I think some missed in Gunn's video is he said Blue Beetle is a part of the DCU going forward, whereas others from the DCEU are left ambiguous if they'll return. Excited to see Xolo, I think is how you say his name, from Cobra Kai possibly mix it up with Booster. I think he's the perfect casting for a Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle. I'm so excited to see that.
Because I keep seeing a poster for this movie's Blue Beetle, and I'm always like, what does he look like again? It's just so weird. I have never seen this character like in anything. Even the logo, I'm like, what is that? And when I look at a picture of this, I'm like, I can't even like pretend I've seen this guy in anything.
Really?
Like, it does not ring a bell at all.
He's
but
been in
that'll
some
be nice.
cartoons.
I mean, that'll be nice. It'll be a complete. I'll go in pretty much blind, which will be pretty cool.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Also, what's the next review for next week? Will it be a bad rom-com or something else?
It's not really a rom-com. It is a Sandler movie, though.
Excuse me. Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, maybe before the release of Across the Spider-Verse, you could do an NC for the first film. I'm sure you can find something unique to talk about it with no matter how tiny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I could say that everyone else hasn't already like said. You know what I mean? I mean, I love the movie, and there is a lot to say about it, but I just feel like everybody said it. I don't know. I might wait for the other movies to come out and then do like what I do with Twilight, just kind of do all the films. That might be the better way to do it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I just found out that Amazon Prime is planning a Tomb Raider series. I guess that means that they now own the rights. I believe it'll be based on the rebooted game series. Is it something you'll be interested in watching?
So is she a girl or is she a woman in it? Which one are they doing? Are they doing like the Survivor one? Are they doing like the Going in Tombs one? What was the reboot?
The reboot is like she's a woman. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that one. I get why the others were good games where she's younger and like trying to survive and stuff like that. I'm all for the go into tombs, find weird treasures, shoot up weird monsters. I mean that's the fun shit for me. That first movie I think is legitimately entertaining. So yeah, but I'd also like to see something different done with it too. So I don't know. I'd be lying if I said a movie didn't make more sense to me. A show's a little weird because. Is she that complex a character?
Well, I feel like Amazon Prime in particular, I'm a little worried about. It feels like they keep buying up all these popular video game properties and being like, let's make a show of this just because it's like the hot thing to do. Because they have a Fallout series coming. They have a God of War series coming. They have this Tomb Raider series coming. I think Amazon Prime is the one who is starting on the Horizon Zero Dawn series. Like, just slow down. It's okay. We don't need a series of every popular new gaming franchise. Just chill.
Well, and why? I don't know. Tomb Raider that's like a perfect movie. Why not make a movie out of it? You could get a very easy 3-act structure. I mean, we already did, with the Angelina Jolie, but I mean, we could do like a different take on it. I think it'd be a cool. Oh, and there's even a couple. They had one when she was a teen too. So yeah, it's like I don't know why they don't just try another movie, but I don't know.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the prequel to Prince of Egypt called Joseph, King of Dreams? And if so, thoughts?
Years ago, like I think when it first came, I think I saw it on VHS. That's how old it was. I remember liking it okay. I remember the dream was really cool. The way they did the effects on that. I'm curious how it ages now, but I remember liking it all right.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I have the perfect idea to get Crazy Heather in an NC review like we all want. You review the B movie. You cut to the famous line, you like jazz? Then Heather walks in with a gun and says, say that line again. I dare ya. I double dare ya. Then you say, you like jazz. Then Heather just starts opening fire on the studio, destroying everything in her path. So it would have to actually be a flamethrower. It would really be truer to my heart if it was a flamethrower in which I decided to burn down everything that Doug loved in front of his eyes. That feels more fitting to me.
And the review just stops there. We don't even get past that line. It's just like there's no credits or anything. Just
April Fools!
Yeah.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'll say this. Avatar: The Way of Water. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Doug, I'll say this. Avatar: The Way of Water. James Cameron has always been a fan of the ocean and whales, so I sense this was more of a passion project with how far he goes with the lore of whales and how cool they are. Plus, that end credit song is really catchy.
Sure, cool. I have no doubt about that. I still think it's bad. but it does look very, very nice. Again, I really give credit to the technology and the visuals and stuff. They are very, very impressive.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What's a food in a movie that looked so delicious that it made you go, damn, I want that? For me, it's the cheeseburger in the menu.
Yeah, you nailed it. Like ever since I saw that for like a week and a half, I just ate cheeseburgers because I would just keep thinking back. And then like when it came to HBO Max, I just like watched it again. And then we got to that scene, like I had a cheeseburger ready to go just for that moment. Because yeah, it's like the greatest looking cheeseburger in the history of cheeseburgers.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, how y'all doing today?
Good, thank you.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I just recommended your presence at Fan Expo Dallas in Texas, and they did respond. I have no idea if they emailed you yet, but please keep an eye. I want to meet you and the crew so much.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I will keep an eye on that.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. I know we're pretty far away from the next commercial special, but if I may make a recommendation, I've been seeing this one PSA multiple times on my YouTube feed. It's a group of pill puppets singing about how they're not candy and how kids shouldn't eat them. It gives me the same vibe as the don't put it in your mouth PSA.
Yeah, it's popping up more on my feed too. Isn't that spit? Like I saw it before. I was like, okay, nah, I decided not to, but like it keeps popping up recently and I don't know why. There was one that blew my fucking mind.
Great.
I got to say real fast because it's like this woman, you know, with her kid, and they're just walking down the street, and this guy stops and looks at her, and she goes and turns the other way. And then this other guy, completely different guy, stops, looks at her, starts walking towards her. She turns the other way. And then, like, this van pulls up. This other guy looks and turns to the van, starts going towards her, and she runs the other direction. And suddenly there's like 3 or 4 people that are kind of surrounding her and everything. And then cops show up and they arrest the woman. And they say, you're under arrest for kidnapping a child. And then they return the girl to their real parents. I was like, holy shit. It like blew my fucking mind. It was just a complete shock. It was about like, you know, keeping an eye on your kids or something. Or if you see something, report something. Because all the people watching her were like, hey, that was that lady on the news that kidnapped that kid. It just, I gotta work that into the special because I was just like, like that was just that was one of the best PSAs I ever saw in my life.
I just love how absolutely mind blown you are by this, Doug. It's hilarious.
It was just such a good surprise because all the people like look at her like they tried to get, you know, they're like kind of built, you know, wearing like, you know, whatever, like the winter hats and stuff. Like, you know, they look like thugs, like Batman's gonna beat up or something like that. And they're all like, whoa. What's that? What's going on there? And you're just like, what is happening in this PSA? And it was just such a good surprise at the end.
Well, now we all know the surprise, so thanks, Doug.
Well, I'll still act surprised when I do in the commercial special. I want you all to act surprised too.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which South Park trilogy was your favorite? Imagination Land, the Mysterion trilogy, or Black Friday?
I never saw all the Black Friday one. I have to watch that because I know it's like a Game of Thrones one. I did like the Mysterion just for the Kenny reveal. I thought that all the Kenny jokes that they worked into that I thought were very, very clever.
Joel, thank you for the 100 bits. Most overrated Simpsons character. Personally, I've never been too big on Santa's Little Helper.
It's funny because both my favorite and least favorite is Lisa, because when they do her episodes right, man, are they just the most emotional and heart-tugging and sincere and genuine. But man, when they do them wrong and they just use her as like the straw man for like some sort of other cause or something like that, they get her too much on her high horse in her soapbox, and she's so obnoxious. So, yeah, it's I guess that character kind of, you know, for both best and worst, I guess.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Sauron in Lord of the Rings? Do you think he's overrated?
Part of it depends on what version. I always thought Sauron was creepier in the Bakshi one because you don't see much of him, and he's always kind of in shadows and stuff like that. I always thought he looked so stupid in the Fellowship, just that giant meadow. He looks like a monster, like roar, and he's a deceiver. He's like, you know, someone that he could be your friend, and then he kind of manipulates you and stuff. And just when you see that armor, it just looks so silly to me. So yeah, that's my take. It's a hot take, but like I said, I grew up with the Bakshi movie, so that's kind of my introduction to him, is that, he was a guy in the shadows kind of thing, or he was an eye on top of a tower that sometimes was there, sometimes wasn't. Even like that lizard eye, I thought looked kind of silly. Like, I don't know. That's my take.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, another important thing to know about The Chosen. You can technically watch the first 2 seasons on other services, but you can download the Angel Studios app with no login or subscription and watch all 3 seasons for absolutely free.
It's going to take a while, man. I got so many other things to watch. I believe you. It's not something where I'm just like, I'm sure it sucks. I believe you. I think I've heard it's pretty good. But yeah, it's going to be a while, man. I'm already catching up on so many other things.
Joel B., thank you for the 100 bits. Worst use of a pop song in a movie. Even though the song is a guilty pleasure of mine, I crack up every time Owl City to the Sky plays in The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
I can see that. Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know if this counts, but in Brother Bear, Phil Collins does the songs again. He actually does them really well. They're good songs. But then they get to the scene where a character is revealing something to another character about someone dying. It's supposed to be a heartfelt scene. And Phil Collins comes on singing about how you should feel, and it just completely atom-bombed that moment for me. I'm like, no, I feel nothing here now. I feel nothing. I just hear, like Phil Collins come on like annoying ASMR say, feel bad. Phil Collins is telling you to feel bad. It just destroyed it for me. Which is sad because the rest of the songs I actually thought were really, really good in there. But yeah, that scene just, that ruined it for me.
Thank you for Hype Train number 2, everybody. Hype Train number 2 of the evening. That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. For this year's Disney-cember, will you finally review The Bad Batch or 2003's Clone Wars?
I think I got the 2003 Clone Wars on there, so I will do that. Bad Batch, I don't know if it's are they finishing up this year? I want to do a show when it's like wrapping up. Yeah, because I think they just
there was a new episode tonight.
Oh yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so when it wraps up, I'll watch it. I will try to do Owl House because I'm 99% sure now that's ending this year. So I'll try to watch that at least.
Joel B., thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the 2016 film Collateral Beauty? It's one of the worst films I've seen in my life. Brad Jones called it one of the worst goddamn films of the goddamn decade.
No, but I do know what happens in it. I know the story. It does sound like one that would be quite terrible. Yeah, it's funny because when Will Smith, he's so hit and miss with those dramas, I guess, because some of them I'm like, oh man, so good, and he did such a great job, and others it's like, what the hell were you thinking with that? So I've never seen it, but I've heard things.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on RRR?
I haven't seen it yet. I just saw it on
so
Netflix.
Fun, Doug.
Everyone says it.
It's so fun.
When people were like, how is this not nominated for Best Picture? I'm like, really? All right. And I had people say that too. Like, look, it's not just a dumb movie. It's a legit, like, really, really fucking good film. And I'm like, the two guys like leaping at each other in on the poster. It's like, all right. So I'm crazy curious now. I saw it's on Netflix and I put it on my.
It is a long one.
I believe it, but everyone says it's worth it and it's really, really cool. You really do have to check it out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite antagonist in Die Hard that isn't part of Hans Gruber's group? Chief Dwayne, Ellis, the FBI agents, or the reporter played by Peck from Ghostbusters?
Ellis. It's gotta be Ellis. Come on. How can anyone not love Ellis? Amazing. Phenomenal. Love him.
Joel B., thank you for the 100 bits. Who do you find more annoying at their worst? Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler?
Probably Adam Sandler. And it's funny to me, when Carrey's at his worst is when he's doing a bad dramatic performance.
Okay, all right.
I know it sounds weird, but it's just that thing because he's like thinking how he looks on camera instead of doing the look, because he spent like half his life looking in the mirror. I get it, which is great for comedy, but when he has to do drama, it's like, no, just relax. Just play it normal. That's all you need to do. When he's doing bad comedy, annoying comedy, at the very least, you can see like the impressive face work that he can do. Sandler's just a stupid voice when he's at his worst. It's just a dumb voice with bad editing and not good writing. And yeah, I just can't find any value in that.
Rob's Jen, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can I recommend some British animated movies for you to review? Romeo and Juliet, The Magic Roundabout, and Valiant. The last one has Ewan McGregor and Ricky Gervais playing World War II carrier pigeons.
Yeah, some of those are Disney, I think. I think I had Romeo and Juliet that might be on the list because I just found out Fox released that, like, I think after Disney bought it. I'm like, oh, I guess that counts. I've never seen it, though. It looked bad, but I guess it made money because they made like a sequel and stuff. He's in Johnny Depp like in the sequel or something. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little curious. So I'll probably check that out for Disney December, and then I'll try to see Valiant because I don't think it's gonna be good, but it's another one where it's like it's one of the lost ones when Disney was trying to figure out what to do with CG, and I'm curious to check that out.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. With Dial of Destiny reportedly being John Williams' final film, will you do a top 11 John Williams scores?
Probably not, because A, I don't even know what ones I would pick, man. That there's just so many. And B, yeah, copyright would come right on us, man. Even if we're reviewing it, music gets hit really hard in terms of copyright claims. So it's like, probably not. I don't know what my favorite score of his would be, though. Maybe Last Crusade? I'm not sure.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, could you please either make a compilation video of all the Cartoon Saloon movies or just review Wolfwalkers? Again, no matter how tiny, any unique thoughts on your comedic edge will suffice.
It's not on the list, but I do like that studio. So I don't know. It might be fun to do like what I did like with the Twilight movies, where I kind of combine them all into one. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna review them like all in one collection. So we'll see.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who do you think Brendan Fraser would be great as in the MCU? For me, it's The Thing. I can kind of see that.
I mean, it almost be typecasting because again, it's kind of like what they did with the robot with Cliff. But yeah, no, that wouldn't make sense. I was almost gonna, because of his energy and yeah, his size too. I was almost gonna say Mojo, but I'm like, nah, you need someone that's there's where you need like a Jim Carrey or something like that. That's someone that can just like really, really work past that makeup. And his face is expressive, but man, for that energy, you'd have to really work past that makeup. I'm kind of siding with you. I can actually see him as The Thing. Okay.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. Speaking of stop motion films, what are your thoughts on Kubo and the Two Strings?
Oh, so good. I love that movie. It's funny because it's always one where whenever I think of the Laika films, I think of like Paranorman and Coraline and Box Truck, and I always forget about Kubo. And Kubo's really fucking good. And I'm not sure why it always kind of escapes like my memory. I own it on Blu-ray. You know, I've watched it a couple times. I don't know why. It's almost like so its own unique thing that I don't even connect it to the studio, to Laika. But yeah, no, it's a wonderful film.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite Disney heroine that isn't a princess? For me, it's Meg from Hercules. I love Mulan.
Yeah, I'd have to go through like, so
I mean, Pocahontas isn't technically a princess. Mulan isn't. Meg isn't. A lot of the more current ones aren't. Merida isn't, right?
No, she is.
Is she? I haven't seen Brave. You know what? I said that so confidently, and I've never even seen Brave.
Yeah, like all the ones I'm looking at, they're all like princesses. That is pretty funny. Oh, there's just like a how many? Okay. Here's like a little picture of a bunch of them. Blah, 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 blah,
Vanellope isn't. There you go, that Disney nerd.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because that's a Disney movie. Yeah, there really are a lot of princesses, aren't there?
There really are.
Oh, you know what? So was it woman or just female?
It's Disney heroine who isn't a princess.
I'll say Lilo.
Oh,
I really like that character.
There you go.
It's one of the few Disney kid characters where I'm like, that really feels like a real kid, and I like her struggle, and she's odd and everything. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Overall, what has been your favorite episode of Doom Patrol Season 4 so far?
I like the one where they resort back to their younger selves and they're kind of tripping balls too, and that was pretty fun. And it's interesting. Again, it's one where they kind of just sit around and talk, and those are the ones I really usually enjoy the most.
Joel B, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Australian actor? My top two would be Hugh Jackman or Geoffrey Rush.
You see, that's the problem. Is so many Australian actors are so good at getting rid of their accent. I had to remind myself that Geoffrey Rush was Australian. Like, I thought he was British.
I love Hugh Jackman.
I do really like Hugh Jackman.
He's Hugh Jackman, I'll
admit, it's like he's a good actor, but I'd be lying if I said a lot of what's so appealing about is just that he seems like such a goddamn nice guy in real life, and I do connect so much of that to him. But that's just all the more amazing. He can play like Wolverine, like such a badass, cool guy, So I guess I'll say Hugh Jackman. I'm sure there's others, but it's like, I'll say Hugh Jackman.
The Hemsworth. I always forget the Hemsworths are Australian. Yeah, so Chris Hemsworth, I love him too. CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. 12th Night has the best love triangle, and I will die on this hill.
Why is that so familiar?
12th Night? Like the famous Shakespeare play?
Okay, that's... I'm saying to myself, why does that sound familiar? It's like, oh yeah, because it was written just a little bit before I was born. So yes, that makes more sense.
I'm sorry, Doug. I'm gonna stop laughing. I apologize.
Yeah, you're a teacher.
I apologize.
And you know what? You're not making me feel valued. So...
I'm not. I'm sorry, Doug. Not everyone knows that Shakespeare wrote 12th Night. You're right.
Yeah. You know what, Josh? That question.
Noah Zitter, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, please review Monster House for Nostalgiaween 2023. Again, nostalgic for me, and I even played it in front of my garage on a projector one Halloween. Good times.
Okay. I got it on the list, so yeah.
Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. If you read comics/manga, how was your favorite comic? Maybe they mean who? Who was your favorite comic artist? Personally, I'm a fan of Steven Sajak, Sui Ishida. I just love the dark and beautiful images that are paintery, sketchy, but as well very clean. Hope those names are not too hard to pronounce. I tried my best and I probably didn't pronounce them correctly.
I've only read a little bit, and the answer's got to be and the dude we just talked about, but I forgot his name, the one that does all the freaky weird stuff like
Junji
faces
Ito?
on things. Yeah, just because it's one of the only ones I know. So yeah, I had to go with that.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite moment from Cliff and Doom Patrol?
Man, it's like I'm going through like, I don't know. It's gotta be. It's kind of the same thing with like Bob and Louise. I really like sort of when there's this like side companionship that happens very organically, and maybe I think he like walks up to her when she's like hanging out in the bus, and he tries to convince her to like do something with it, instead of just sitting around and basically getting high. I think that's what they were hinting at there. I like that. I like the connection they have. It feels very believable, and yeah, kind of anything with them, okay? Because I really do buy that connection.
Wiccan, thank you for the 100 bits. Well, it's official. 3 out of the 4 highest grossing movies of all time are directed by James Cameron. What's your favorite movie of his? I'm guessing Avatar.
Yeah, clearly. Maybe Terminator 2? I'm going through the list. I feel like that's got to be it. Yeah, I watched that movie so many times. It was just so cool to see a kid in a big Hollywood movie actually talk like a real kid, like John Connor in that. I was just like, oh my God, I can't remember. All the kid characters in movies I saw were just seeing the cool catchphrases and stuff. Yes, he says hasta la vista, but he's telling him the cool catchphrase, so that's okay. But like just hearing him actually like swear and get in trouble and just do all the things that real kids do was just like so like mind-blowing to me as a kid. It just felt like, okay, all right, so they can do this. They do know how to do this. They're just not. Hollywood's not.
Yeah. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Overall, which version of Cyborg do you like more? The one in Zack Snyder's Justice League or the one in Doom Patrol? I'm still going to go with Doom Patrol because you have the advantage of having a whole series.
I was going to say the one in Doom Patrol is more developed, but the way they develop him in Snyder's cut was so unique and so interesting. And like, I'm never going to forget that imagery of like, all the books, all the money, everything like stacked up. And that's like how he operated and how he saw the world. And I just thought that was so intriguing. So I'll still say that the Snyder cut, but only because it was just so different and so unique.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the YTPs for the Ancient Aliens History Channel series?
I think I've seen the thumbnails for them. I haven't actually seen the videos, though. No, I'll try to check them out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, here's a couple of ideas. Number 1, NC for Zathuro by Jon Favreau. Number 2, the Jumanji movies.
One of them, yes. I literally just wrote one of them. So, yes, you'll have that coming.
Coburn, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Boy in the Striped Pajamas movie, and what do you think about it?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
Good. No, I've never seen it.
I had to watch it in high school.
How long ago did it come out?
Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Is it really? Wow.
Let me see. Wait, Boy in the Striped, 2008. Yeah. Oh, I must be misremembering then. Oh, my kids watched it. I was like, okay. I watched it in school. Maybe some of my kids watched it. 2008. Okay. I was not in high school in 2008.
That's one that I'm sure it's great and I should see it. It's some movies I just have a hard time watching because they are just so fucking depressing. It's so hard to get through. Anything about, because that's like a Holocaust movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, anything about the Holocaust is difficult. Anything about slavery is difficult for me, or like just any kind of prejudice that's just so clearly wrong. And yet somehow it was like globally accepted or accepted in a country and stuff. It was just so painfully, obviously wrong. Just gets under my skin. And it's like, that doesn't mean don't make the movies. I mean, these are brilliant movies and they're so good, but they're very difficult for me to watch because I legit get angry watching them. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't watch them, you know, and they should make me angry, but like, yeah, they're difficult for me to get through. And I have heard that's a very good movie though, and I will try to get through it.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Hope your day is going well. My question is, would you review any Pixar movies in the future as the NC? Toy Story or Inside Out? Some of my favorite movies ever. Oh, Doug, oh, there you are. Hi, Doug. Welcome back.
I said I'm going to wave my arms until I come back. So sorry, I did miss the question. Sorry.
Would you review any Pixar movies in the future as the NC? Toy Story or Inside Out are some of my favorite movies ever.
What was I thinking of? You know, the ones I'd want to review are the ones that I think are kind of like, they have problems. Like I liked reviewing Brave because it's not like an awful movie, but the problems are interesting. I wouldn't mind talking about Bug's Life because I don't personally think that movie works as a whole. But again, it's not awful, and there is stuff that works in it. And it's the second one after Toy Story, and they were in a rush to get it out, you know, like before Ants, DreamWorks, and stuff. So all of that's really interesting. But honestly, the ones that, you know, are really great, like Coco and Inside Out and stuff like that, it's another one where I'm like, I don't know how much more I can add that everybody else hasn't already added to it. So if I do a Pixar film, it probably will be one that it has a couple, you know, shards in the armor, or what's the word? Cuts in the armor, however you put it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how about a Redux review for the first Transformers movie before The Rise of the Beasts?
I played around with the idea of doing another, like, compilation of, like, it's just all the Transformer movies in one video. But then I'm like, but do I do that before the new Beast movie comes out, or do I include that whenever I do the video? You know what I mean? So, so I'm debating. I'm thinking about it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who was your favorite I don't know why my brain said legendary. Who was your favorite secondary antagonist in the Indiana Jones movies? Tot in Raiders or Elsa in Last Crusade?
Who was the first one again?
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've seen Raiders. T-O-H-T?
T-O-H-T? Raiders? Why am I... Was that his name? Oh, I just knew him as the Gestapo. Okay.
Oh, thank you. God. Okay, thank you. Thank you. The guy who gets his face melted. Thanks, Power Gamer.
I've seen this movie. I can't even count how many times I've seen this movie. I never knew that was his name. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, it's got to be him. I mean, God, just the fucking way not thirsty. He's just such a fucking creep. Yeah, and it's so gratifying to see his face melt. Oh God, yeah. it's him.
Joe, thank you for the 100 bits. As someone who quite literally grew up with the Nostalgia Critic, how do you feel about the notion that the Nostalgia Critic is itself a nostalgic property?
It's surreal. So we didn't know that there were younger people watching us too. I mean, we always figure there's a couple or something, but so many people are coming up to us in conventions now saying, yeah, like you grew up with your stuff. I mean, for years we did conventions, and it was usually people in like, their 20s, or sometimes 30s or something like that. But yeah, so many people are saying they grew up watching our stuff, and it's cool. It's neat. It's kind of like, I don't want to say like a second win, but it is cool seeing like a different generations like take on it and talking about like, like early days of internet and stuff like that, and what, we still do and what we don't do now and stuff. And I don't know. It's neat. It's cool.
Daps Foxden, thank you for that subscription. Welcome. Appreciate that. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever seen Wolverine and the X-Men yet? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Well, since I'm not doing the Hyper Monkey Team, whatever, I'm probably going to start that one. That'll be the next show I start. Because, yeah, I think I just, like, the last show I watched last year for Disney December, I think was X-Men Evolution. So I'm like, all right, that makes sense going to Wolverine and the X-Men. I'm curious to hear, who's the dude that voices, Steve Bloom? Does he voice Wolverine in this? I'm curious to hear him as Wolverine, because that's a pretty cool choice.
Big Jack Films, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Awesome job on this week's episode of Fanscription. Just released part 1 of my 10th anniversary special Tuesday. Thanks for the cameo, Doug. See you in part 2.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me be a part of it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So I had the weirdest argument with someone last week. They called Tim Burton a terrible person and a snake for not casting the original actress as Wednesday in the Wednesday Netflix series. I literally said to them, do you really think a 40-year-old woman would get cast as Wednesday Addams, who is a teenage girl?
I mean, to be fair, she is very tiny and looks young, but not that young. Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know. The fact that they had her in there at all, I thought was kind of cool. And then the original Wednesday just passed away, right?
Yeah.
The sitcom, yeah. So, did they work her into the series, the Wednesday series? That would have been. I didn't even think to check, but I'm like, that would have been interesting. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, well, and also Jenna Ortega, is that how you say her name? She was fucking great in that show. So, yeah, no complaints about that here.
Toa Plan, thank you for the 200 bits. Keep up the great work. I love the Nostalgia Critic sketches and have been watching it for many years. I think my favorite so far is the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog review. Was cracking up constantly.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that was like, year 1 or 2, something like that. So yeah, that one goes back. Thank you so much.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. So overall, which animated DreamWorks villain is your favorite? For me, it's a tie between Ramses and Tai Lung.
It's probably Ramesses. I saw Puss in Boots again. I fucking love that movie that much, and I do really that wolf just gets creepier and creepier, and the voice performance just is so odd, and it kind of gets creepier too. But almost for the exact opposite reason, Ramesses is so great. There's a great simplicity to that character, and there's just such complexity to Ramesses. But yeah, I think when I think of like someone that really has layers, and man, I know what they're going through and everything is just so interesting, I think I gotta say Ramesses.
Jeff Allen, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. If you're looking for a good game to stream on Twitch, I personally recommend Sonic Adventure 2. Great story, and Shadow's backstory and character motive is freaking phenomenal. But anyway, I want to say thank you. You guys are awesome and funny, and I'm wondering if I could buy a cameo with my Visa back credit card.
Ah, boom! I mean, it's going to charity, so yeah.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Jason Bateman movie Bad Words? Thoughts?
Did I see that? I'm trying to think now. I think my wife was watching it, and I thought it was really stupid, so I left. At home, I didn't leave the theater. I'm like, no, you're on your own. I'm not like left her there.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you rather chug Ecto Cooler or Sunny D?
Oh, Ecto Cooler, man. Yeah. The answer is always Ecto Cooler.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite character in the menu? For me, it's Hong Chow as the head waitress. While I loved Ralph Fiennes in the movie, she was genuinely terrifying with how calm yet threatening she was.
She was good. Yeah, man. Everyone else, it kind of gets a lot of attention in that. And I kind of forgot about her. You're right. She really like brought a lot to that role. I always forget the guy's name. Is it Nick Stoll? Is it
That sounds right.
He's always so fucking good. Let me look up just make sure I get it right. Nicholas Hoult. Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like I'm becoming more and more of a Nicholas Hoult fanboy because everything he's in, he's just so good, and he kind of like encompasses these different characters that you both kind of love and hate at the same time. I'll still say him, yeah, but all the acting's phenomenal in that movie.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'll say this about Hyperforce. By episode 13 or 14, the show not only goes into a bit more cool world building, but they do some dark, disturbing things that the characters that I know is up your alley. Even though I was beyond excited for a Disney December review, I won't nag you to continue. Sniffles and tears. Just thought you should know. Quietly whimpers. I really thought you'd dig it. It's so weird.
I mean, that's for. I even looked up to see if like people were talking about it or if that's like what it's known for, you know, for getting like really deep and complex later. It's just I just wasn't getting much character out of it. Every time they would start, they then just focus on like the fighting and stuff like that. And I don't know, it wasn't winning me over. But again, I think that's how the show is supposed to work. It's supposed to be like what we grew up with like, you know, He-Man or something, where it's supposed to be very much just about the fighting and kind of the cool world and stuff like that and the neat monsters. But yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't get into those originally anyway, like Power Rangers or a lot of those mecha shows. So yeah, it's just not my thing. Thank you so much though.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Apparently that kidnapped child commercial is from Canada. The PSAs are back.
Of course it is. Yeah. I gotta remember to look that up because I don't think I like bookmarked that. I gotta find that video. Look it up.
Coburn, thank you for the 100 bits. The guy who played Cypher in Matrix 1999 movie apparently played one of the villains in Baby's Day Out 1994 movie. So now I know that what he did before the Matrix.
I'm trying to remember which one Cypher even was in the Matrix. Oh, Joe Battagliano. Yeah. Oh, he was in Baby Jesus. Really, I don't remember that.
In Baby's Day Out. I don't know.
Oh, Baby's Day Out. I'm sorry. I thought I heard Baby Geniuses. I'm sorry. Okay. Even Baby's Day Out. That's one where I'm always like, that's the one Mandela effect we have because both Rob and I swear we reviewed that movie as Nostalgia Critic, and I don't think we did. It's always one of those where it's like people recommend it. It's like, we didn't we? Like, we saw it, but I don't think we ever reviewed it. So, yeah, maybe I will just to give him a shout out. I don't know.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your I think they meant favorite. What is your favorite celebrity parody in South Park? For me, it's Paris Hilton.
Maybe. No, there's no maybe. It's Mel Gibson because when I saw that movie, I was really disappointed in it and the fact that so many people were like just getting behind it so much, and they just summed up everything I thought about that film. It was just a snuff film, but you put a halo on him, so it's like amazing. And just the way they were showing, like, you know, he's some sort of masochist or something like that. Just all my thoughts about that movie were in that episode. And the way they said, no, he's very eloquent, very debonair. And that's when like the interviews were coming out showing like he wasn't all there and they were mocking that. And yeah, I love that.
Constable Gamer, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone.
Thank you.
And we might have to pick up a little bit. We're still 20 minutes behind.
Gotcha.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your favorite moment from Happy Gilmore? For me, it's Ben Stiller as the sadistic nursing home orderly.
Oh. I love I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No. He just walks off. That kills me.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you have any plans on making an NC on any Wallace and Gromit specials or the movie? I feel like they should be talked about more nowadays, especially since they were pretty big in the early 2000s and now they're just kind of there. I think their last special, A Matter of Loaf and Death, is arguably their darkest one yet.
I remember that one. I might. That's not a bad idea. I could do like a little compilation on him. Yeah, I might do that.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. Who isn't a fan of Mulan?
pretty good. Well, the new one or the original?
I mean, there's still people. You know what? There's someone who's going to be mad about everything. So, OKC Rules, thank you for the 11-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. They just say 11 months. Woo! FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Encanto, Coco, The Book of Life, or Raya and the Last Dragon.
A Book of Life might be interesting because not a lot of people talk about that movie. The others, I just feel like I'd be saying what everyone else says.
Kenton Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. If you've gotten around to finishing the Steven Universe franchise, what are your thoughts on Future? I think I can understand why people didn't think it was great, but I thought it was a pretty good post-series story. It's not very often you see one of your favorite heroes go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I think I did a video on it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm with you. I think that's it's an epilogue series. And I think if you go into that with that mindset, I think it's brilliant. I really, really adore it. I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about that show decades from now. People are going to be looking back like, holy shit, was this show ahead of its time.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I've been watching a recent show on Hulu called Little Demon. It stars Aubrey Plaza and Danny DeVito, and it is fantastic. Very funny, super creative, and surprisingly sweet. I can't recommend it more. Some of the writing is on par with Rick and Morty, in my opinion.
Okay, I feel like, did I see a preview for it or something? Okay, I think I saw a preview, but I never saw the show. I didn't hear anything about it after that. So, all right, I'll try to check it out.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Joe Dante film Inner Space? Personally, I thought it was pretty funny, charming, and super imaginative, even if it's overstuffed. Did you like it?
Yeah, phenomenal effects too. I just saw it again I think last year on a plane. I'm like, I haven't seen this in a while. And yeah, I really enjoyed it.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. Fun fact, or maybe not, all 6 films that have made $2 billion are owned in some part by Disney. Titanic was co-production between Fox and Paramount, so Disney partially owns it.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, not surprising, but interesting.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Who was your favorite main character in Only Murders in the Building? Steve Martin, Martin Short, or Selena Gomez?
Probably Steve Martin. He reminds me a little bit of my dad, so I'm always going to have a soft spot, yeah.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think if Toy Story came out last year for the first time that it would be as amazing as most people view it? Hot take, I don't think it would be.
I mean, probably not, because the technology is going to be a little dated and stuff, and everybody's done that style because of Toy Story. You know what I mean? So I still think people would like it fine, but I don't think it'd be like this groundbreaking thing because the ground's already been broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Hubie Halloween? And if so, what are your thoughts? I'm curious because a lot of people said it was more enjoyable than some of the other Sandler comedies.
I did. I tend to agree. I can't say it's good, but many parts of it did make me laugh and did kind of bring me back to like the Happy Gilmore Wedding Singer, days where I was like, oh, this is actually kind of funny.
Kenton Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. This one is for Heather since she's been playing Pokemon Violet. Are you hoping for anything special for the eventful Pokemon Direct? I kind of want more DLC for new Pokemon Snap and maybe Gold and Silver in the style of Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. A Gold and Silver Let's Go? That would actually be really awesome. This is a pipe dream, but a Pokemon Stadium remake would be amazing. Where's a new Pokemon Stadium, Nintendo? Where is it? We did a new Pokemon Snap. I need a new Pokemon Stadium. Thanks, Doug. You're really contributing to the conversation.
Just contributing all my knowledge out.
Kenton Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Not sure if you ever noticed this when you made your review of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, but did you know that Maurice LaMarche was the actor that played Inspector Gadget when that character guest starred?
Yes, I heard some interesting behind the scene stories behind it. I probably shouldn't say, but he was not fully himself during that. And you can, I don't know, for someone that says he was on something while doing that, he still played it pretty straight. He played it great. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that. He did such a good imitation of his voice too. I think he's public about that, so I don't think that's a big deal. But especially he's recovered and everything. But yeah, still, I think he did it just. I thought it was Don Adams when I first saw it because I didn't know what he looked like at the time. I just thought that was the voice of Inspector Gadget. So I just really thought, wow, they got him. Like, he did it that well.
John McKinney, thank you for the 100 bits. Unpopular opinion, Gargoyles and Hunchback of Notre Dame are hilarious and Dory and Finding Nemo is annoying. Am I the only one who feels this way? But to each their own.
Yes, you are the only one. But you can feel that. But yes, you are the only one.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. Whenever I see little kids dressed like NC at cons, I'm torn between, oh, that's adorable, and should they really be watching him?
Well, that was another reason I didn't know. Kids are watching his too. I'm like, so the NC isn't as bad. It was more when parents bring up their kids and they'd say, oh yeah, we show them Ask That Guy with the Glasses all the time. I'm just like, you should. Their minds aren't developed enough to get that. But it's weird. It's very, charming, but it's a little weird.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Could I recommend an episode of Doctor Who? The episode The Girl in the Fireplace. One of the best episodes of sci-fi, if you ask me.
All right. I've only seen one or two Doctor Who episodes, and they've been good. So I will try to keep that one in mind.
John McKinney, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, I think they just said they didn't realize they sent it twice, but it's the unpopular opinion again about Gargoyles being hilarious and Dory. Yeah.
Gotcha.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. Dreamcast for a live-action Disney gargoyle. Go.
Christ.
And if it helps, you can think for a minute because actually we caught up really fast.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, you can think on that.
I don't see. Now I'm hitting that age where I'm like, who's even a big thing now? I don't know.
Who do the kids talk about nowadays?
I mean, it's weird not having Keith David as Goliath. I mean, I don't know. Would they be people in makeup, or if they'd all be CG? I'd be like, well, no, you have to have Keith David as Goliath. Everyone else, I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of like who's like the big popular actors now and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of. So I was almost gonna say like maybe like a Chris Hemsworth as Goliath, but I don't know the voice is deep enough for it. Yeah, because you have to have a big booming voice. Yeah, I don't know. I can't choose.
Kenton Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bit message of for the night. Been meaning to bring this up. May as well do it now before I forget again. One of my favorite Christmas reviews that you did was I'll Be Home for Christmas. It was really fun to watch and got me through a really nasty case of the flu when it premiered. I watched it over and over and it made me feel a lot more comfortable. One of the many reasons you're one of my favorite online content creators.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. It's super, super nice of you. Thank you.
Crimson Crow, thank you for the 100 bits. For your next Nostalgia-ween, can you do the second Scary Godmother Jimmy Revenge?
Some people have asked for it. Sequels usually don't do that great. So probably not, but I think I might have it on the list always like as a maybe on there because I think the first one did okay. And I know those specials have a following, so we'll see.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Watched Mars Attacks again last night. I agree with you that most of the characters are very flat, but the two I came closest to enjoying were Jack Nicholson, maybe just for shut up, and Jim Brown as the former boxer. Who did you come closest to enjoying out of the entire cast?
I mean, Michael J. Fox, because he's always just so charismatic and like kind of with a little bit of like a scumbag he is. But again, they didn't write any good lines for him. He's not in the movie very long. And then Jack, I'm always gonna have a soft spot for Jack Nicholson. But again, they didn't write anything that interesting for him.
Cool. Sorry. Gigabuster asks, would you be able to do a commercial special for the Super Bowl ads?
Commercial special. I've been thinking about, and I always say I'm gonna do this, and I never do it, but I don't know. Maybe if these editorial videos take off, where I'm just talking as myself, Super Bowl commercials have not been funny for a long time, and I know where it started. I remember the exact year it started because they just all kind of sucked, and it was the year that Britney Spears did a Pepsi commercial. I'm not blaming her. I just remember that was the first one I saw.
Alone.
I know, right? But it's not her fault or anything. She got paid whatever buco bucks and everything, all the cool shit and everything. But it's like it was just her dancing and singing, and there was no joke to it, and that was really weird. Everyone's like, "Well, where's the joke? That's weird." And for whatever reason, that year it was just about getting attention and not like good writing, which I don't know. It sounds weird because it's like, well, yeah, it's commercials, but Super Bowl commercials really were like just these little comedic masterpieces for a while, and they sold the products really well. And every year, people watch and be like, yeah, the commercials were surprisingly not good this year. I'm like, you've been saying that for a decade, like a couple decades, I think. So yeah, it's just been a thing for a while.
Matt Gamer says, when I saw the Twilight Baby Abomination from your NC review, I died. Literally. Lol.
Well, rest in peace.
Lord R. Wolfen says, I don't know why, but I really want a Contra movie that is rated R, taking place in the 80s, and starring John Cena and Dave Bautista. Such a movie doesn't exist yet. Do you agree?
I mean, you kind of got it. It's called Aliens. I mean, they did take a lot from Aliens there, but I could see that. I could see, yeah, they'd be a good team up, actually, wouldn't they? Yeah, that might be pretty fun, actually. I'd take it. I'd see it.
Ramirez says, hey guys, what's your opinion on Eric Bauza winning the Emmy for voicing Bugs Bunny?
Winning
an Emmy for voicing Bugs Bunny. I honestly didn't know about that. So I have no opinion.
Is it Eric Bauza or Bauza?
Bauza. Bauza.
Man, I wasn't even close. Not even close. Like what? I had to look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have an opinion.
what was even Bugs Bunny like in recently that he would win an Emmy for? I will have to. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad Bugs Bunny won for something. That's awesome. I'm always going to cheer on Bugs Bunny. But yeah, that's I have to look up even what it was.
I know a guy says, would you review the Despicable Me movies in honor of the Mario movie coming out April 7th? That's done by Illumination.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that as like a collection. Originally, I was thinking all the Illumination movies, but I'm like, that's way too many. So I'll do the Despicable Me movies. I'm trying to think if I've even, are there 3 or 4? No, I had to do the Minion ones too. That's right. I don't think I've seen the 3rd one. I think I've seen all the other ones though, including the Minion movies.
Gigabuster says, have you seen Tommy? It's based on the album Tommy from The Who, and who gave us the Pinball Wizard? Oh, and what gave us the Pinball Wizard?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a long time ago. I remember liking it, but I don't remember a ton about it. I remember it being trippy. I remember it being cool, but that's about all I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Power Gamer says, follow up to my question from last week. What are Walter, Ayanna, and Jim's most hated movies, since you only gave an answer for Malcolm and Tamra? Oh, golly, I'm not even sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you'd have to... next Tournament Tuesday, which I think we might have next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we will, right? You don't have filming?
Yeah. Filming. So yeah, so
you don't
we'll
have filming.
Yeah, see if you can hopefully ask him there.
Yeah. Master Mario says, I know this is a dark question and respect that you may not want to answer it, but what were you doing when 9/11 happened? I was a 4th grader at the time and remember my mom and teachers watching the TV in shock. I also remember when the second tower was hit, my mom was carrying 2 bowls of cereal for my brother and I and ran to the TV with the bowls in her hand.
Mine's pretty boring. I was asleep. I was a college student. I was catching up on sleep that day because, you stay up late and everything. And, Dad woke me up. He's like, you don't want to turn on the news. So,
yeah. I was a freshman in high school, and I need to add context to this or else it just sounds like we're all awful people. I was in history class, and my history teacher was best friends with the history teacher next door, and they used to pull pranks on each other. Like every now and then one would go through the door and like throw papers and like shout the most ridiculous thing you could possibly think of, or like they just pulled pranks on each other. It was like a thing that they did for each other. So the teacher from next door came running in, like swung our door open and went, oh my gosh, terrorists have just bombed the Twin Towers. And we laughed because we thought it was another like prank. We were like, weird prank, bro, but okay, I guess that's just another prank. And then he turned our TV on and was like, no, seriously. Take a look at it.
If we want to go dark, Brad told me the story that I guess when they were filming Master of Disguise, when they were filming the turtle scene, that it happened on that day, and they came out and said, that this happened, everything, let's all have a moment of silence and stuff, which is very, very touching, very emotional and stuff. But he was in the turtle costume.
Oh, God.
And just imagining this terrible tragedy and accepting it while he's in that costume is, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Cameron, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you have the Game Boy or Game Gear growing up?
I had the Game Boy. Yeah, Game Gear was too big and bulky. Like the color, I was jealous of the color. It was like, and the graphics were a little better. But like, man, just the Game Boy was so much more convenient.
Honest Reviewer says, so after Wolverine and the X-Men, will we get Spectacular Spider-Man, please? Pretty please?
I think I have that on the list. I think that's on there. Yeah, because that's another one. I think it's like a 1-season show, so I can get through it pretty quick. So, yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. And I think that's going to be it, because it is 8 o'clock right now. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us as usual. We super appreciate you being here. We do have content here Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. So come on back because we will be here tomorrow. Tamara will be live. Doug will be here on Friday. Sorry about canceling last Friday, but we were filming Space Trash and things just got out of control, okay? Yep. Doug's in... I can't wait for you guys. I was about to spoil something. I won't. Space Trash is going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. Anyway, let me get a raid for Tamara started here.
Sounds good.
Tamara Jitters. Amazing. All right, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. 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 Thank you.